Creating consistent characters with generative AI is highly sought after. There's many different ways you can try and achieve it, and most of them are kind of a complicated pain. But OpenArt has implemented a characters feature that aims to make this a lot easier. Let's take a look. After logging into OpenArt, I'm going to click on Train a Consistent Character right here in the middle. It's also available over in the left-hand menu under Characters. You can start with a description, so this is using a text prompt to generate your character. You can start with a single image, or you can start with 4 or more images, but creating a consistent character that way has been available for some time in OpenArt through model training. So let's start with a description. The first thing we need to do is give our character a name, and we'll be using this name when we generate images with our character. I'm going to name our character Tom. Next up, we'll describe the character. We want to be sure to include everything about this character that we want to stay consistent every time we generate an image with them in it. But on the flip side, we shouldn't include things that we might want to change from one generation to another. For instance, if we describe our character here as wearing a green hat, then every image we generate with this character is probably going to show up wearing a green hat. Now that might make sense if the green hat is this character's trademark, but if there's going to be times where you're going to want this character to be wearing a blue hat or a brown hat or no hat at all, you're probably best to leave the hat out of this part of the description. We want to make sure to include the things that are never going to change about this character. Maybe the character's eye color, hair color, height, weight, anything that wouldn't change or that we want to be distinguishing about this character. If you have a bit of an idea, you can always type in something simple, I'll say a bear, and click the Enhance button, and the AI will develop the description of your character. I'm going to get rid of that. This is the description I've worked up as my character. And now I need to pick a style. I can type in the style on my own, or I can come down here and pick from one of these style suggestions that they've provided. I'm going to go with comic book. I think to reinforce that, I'm also going to come back up here into my description and add comic book character to the beginning of it. All right, with that done, I'll click Create Previews. It gives you 3 options to pick from, and if you're not happy with any one of those, you can always click the Regenerate Previews button to get 3 more. I'm going to pick the guy in the middle, and then click Create Character. Next, it lets me know that the character is being created. It's going to take about 10 minutes, and we can close out of here while it's working. Our character's ready to go. We'll click Create. That brings us to the image generation page, and it presets the model, now model or character, to Tom, and it gets the prompt started with @Tom. And after it has this is playing guitar. That's just a suggestion. It's just showing you that @Tom is how you identify your subject character within the prompt, and then you can do whatever you want. Instead of having Tom play a guitar, let's do something a little bit different. We'll leave the @Tom. That's what defines our character in this prompt, and we're going to have him swinging on a grappling hook between buildings. Comic book scene. I'm not sure about his fashion choices, especially this one on the left with these wild boots, but this definitely looks like our character Tom. Now I included the word comic book scene in this prompt specifically. Even though we created Tom in the style of a comic book character, I found that the characters tend to want to lean toward realism, so we can help that by specifying in the prompt that we want a comic book scene or comic book illustration or something along those lines. I want to generate another image with Tom, and this time I specified in the prompt his heterochromia. His left eye is blue and his right eye is green. Even though that was part of the character that we created, I find that AI models have a real hard time generating this. The characters here in OpenArt are doing okay, but it definitely helps, especially for these close-ups, if I specify it again in the prompt. Interestingly, it switched up his heterochromia in these images. In one, it's his left eye that's green and his right eye is blue, and then in the other one, it's backward. Now, I've been experimenting with this characters feature quite a bit, and something I found is that the weight is very important. And by weight, I'm talking about this slider right here underneath of the character name. The default is 0.8, and that works pretty good. You can slide that weight up to get a better resemblance to the character's face, but if you go too far, weird things start happening. I used a single image of me to create a character, and here's a generation, just a professional portrait with the weight set at 0.8, the default. I used the same prompt and the same character, and went through adjusting that weight a little bit at a time. At 0.8, it's a pretty decent resemblance of me. Even at 0.9, things look pretty good. With a weight of 1, nothing strange has happened yet. And the reason you're seeing 2 different versions of each of these weights is because I used OpenArt's Auto Prompt Enhance. I set that on, and that will enhance half of the images you generate every time you click the Create button. Since I'm creating in batches of 2, it means one of the images used the prompt that I provided, and the second iteration used an enhanced version of my prompt. At a weight of 1.1, things are a little bit fuzzy, and something funky is going on with my hair. Something just isn't right, and my forehead's getting a little bit weird as well. With a weight of 1.2, I'm starting to notice some proportion issues and some things that I can't quite put my thumb on but just aren't right. At a weight of 1.3, the proportion issues are more noticeable. My face is a little fuzzier and my hair is starting to look fried, which at 1.4 is starting to get really exaggerated, even with the enhanced prompt. At 1.5, it's enough to make you dizzy if you start looking at it too long. Another thing to know is that when you're generating images with the characters, if there's more than one person in the image, chances are they're all going to look like the character. Here's my Bob character in a lab doing something science-y. Looks pretty decent, and that's with the character weight up 0.9. Using the same prompt of just @Bob is conducting scientific research in a high-tech laboratory. With a model weight of 1, I got a partner in this one, and the partner is just a shorter version of me. Or maybe I'm the one on the left and my partner's the taller version of me. Same prompt, now I appear to be wearing some sort of a onesie, and everybody else in the lab looks a lot like me. Now with the model weight at 1.1, I'm not really sure what I'm doing in the lab. I need to be figuring out what has caused my left hand to mutate and who this dude is coming up behind me. With the weight set to 1.2, it becomes apparent that I have been in this lab too long and exposed to something because I have sprouted another head, it looks like, off of my shoulder, and the side of my lab coat that seems to be open has turned into the ugliest woman on the planet. It's not all just the model weight though, sometimes you get lucky. This one at 1.3, pretty decent likeness of me. The hair is looking a little weird, it's starting to do that fried thing, but everything else is not bad. Then at 1.4, it's gone completely haywire again. I have cloned myself and we've got an extra hand running around the lab. Now there were a lot of good generations out of my experimentation as well. For instance, even the basic Bob is playing guitar, the sample prompt that they give you to start with, that turned out pretty well at the default weight of 0.8. That same prompt with the weight slider up on 1.5 produced this scary thing, and this one. The point of all that is to say that that weight slider is incredibly important in my experience. I'm starting at the default 0.8, and if I feel like it could more closely match my character, I'll move it up a little bit to 0.9 or 0.1, but I know going past that, things are going to start to go really wild. Here's something different I generated with the Bob character. We're at a weight of 0.8. No major complaints with this one. Another version of that with the model weight at 0.9 came out pretty good. Now to create the Bob character, obviously I didn't write a description, I used a single image. The way to do that is go to train a consistent character. We have the 3 options here, start with the description, start with 1 image, or start with 4+ images. Choose start with 1 image. We need to give our character a name that we'll use when we're prompting with the @ symbol. I'm going to go with the character name Robo. This time I'm going to do a robot. I don't want to train another character on me, I already have one. So I'm going to drag in a happy little robot here, and pay attention to the instructions down at the bottom when it says a half body or a full body portrait works best. That's a little more than a can't hurt might help kind of situation here. I tried creating a character with just a portrait, like what you see of me now. That did not work out well at all. I think the model took liberties with what the rest of me must look like, but then it also imparted those interpretations back onto my head and face too, and things just did not come out well. The images I just showed you of the Bob character, that character was created from this image, which meant the AI didn't have to just make up what I must look like from here down. It also reminds us to only include what we want in the design. Extra objects like a hat might become part of the character. I can also tell you that I created a character where the single source image that I had of that character, her mouth was hanging wide open, and every image came out with her mouth wide open. What I should have done before using that image to create a character with is gone into OpenArt's facial expression editor and fixed that up and then started with that image. But with those things in mind, this is it. Upload the image of the character you want to use, give it a name, hit the create character, and in about 10 minutes, you'll be able to create images with that character. By the way, OpenArt is sponsoring this video. I'm looking forward to it. Should be able to get maybe a tank of gas and a chicken dinner out of it. I appreciate their support and certainly your support for watching. Now, once you have your characters all created, say you log back into OpenArt and you want to go work with them again, you can go to characters on this left-hand menu and click that, and then pick your character and then click create under whichever character you want to use. But you don't have to do that. If you're in your image generation page, over here where it says model or character, you can just click whichever one is showing there, and then come over to the characters tab, and then select the model you want to work with. Once you make that selection, it'll show up here. I picked Bob, so it says character Bob, and it'll automatically drop the @Bob in the prompt. Now, you don't have to have the character tag at the beginning of the prompt. You could also say something like, in a dark alley. When you hit the @ symbol, it's going to pop up the character associated with the character model you're using. You just click it, standing alone, and there I am, standing alone. Perfect? No. Nothing in generative AI is perfect. But we're on a good start of being able to take one image or one description and use that as a character over and over again. I've shared my observations of the characters feature, the good, the bad, and the ugly, with the folks at OpenArt. They're always very receptive, and they tell me that they are actively working on quality improvements for the characters feature. I hope you found this helpful or somewhat entertaining. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.